Becoming a web developer or a programmer in general is a great way to start your career in today's digital age. With the rise of free learning platforms all around the world, the amount of people trying to get into the desirable career of software or web development is increasing rapidly. To better your chances of landing those high-paying jobs and stand out from the crowd of beginner developers, building a portfolio might be one of the best ways to achieve this. In this video, we'll explain what a portfolio website is, discuss why every developer should have a decent one, and show you ways to build your portfolio so it looks professional. We'll also give you some quick tips on where to find projects to put on your portfolio as well. Let's start with discussing the first point. What exactly is a portfolio? In our context, a portfolio is a website on which you display your skills and examples of your work. You can think of it like a kind of digital resume or something like that. Your portfolio website should under all circumstances be mentioned on your application. Most companies still insist on a written CV that they can quickly scan over, so don't replace your application completely with a portfolio website, but definitely make sure to let your potential employer know about your site. On the website itself, you should be creative. There's nothing wrong with using templates, and this might be the easiest way to get started with a portfolio that looks somewhat decent at least, but as you increase your skills and knowledge, you should definitely consider creating a more custom and unique look. You want three main pieces of information on your portfolio. First, a display of your skills, knowledge and prior work experience. Second, a page or section where you can showcase some of your cool projects you worked on or are currently building. And lastly, you definitely want to display your contact information, so potential customers or HR people can get in touch with you easily. Before we dive into the more technical parts of this video, we first need to discuss why you need a portfolio website in today's times. College or university degrees are very expensive and become more and more irrelevant. This trend can already be seen by the big tech companies like Google or Facebook. They are hiring based on experience, skill and knowledge, not based upon some stupid degrees. Unfortunately, many and especially smaller businesses still value college degrees very much. Therefore, you have to show that you're a worthy candidate for the position and know the technologies required for completing the job successfully. This is where a portfolio website comes in handy. It shows that you can actually build stuff outside of some sorting algorithms and stupid C programs which they teach at college. It shows that you can actually work with real-world, up-to-date technologies and know how to solve problems by yourself. Like mentioned before, your custom portfolio will make you stand out from the crowd of applicants and can be the deciding factor whether you get the job you want or not. You see, having a portfolio website can be tremendously helpful and can be a crucial factor for success on the ever-growing job market in the software industry. Do you already have a portfolio or are you looking forward to build one? We'd love to read your comments about this. Also make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it so far and subscribe to our channel for weekly content. Now that we made clear why having a portfolio website is a good idea, we want to show you some of the different ways on how to create one and what you have to consider when doing so. When building your website, you first have to decide if you want a static website or a dynamic one, maybe even with a blog where you post every now and then. If you only want a static website, we would recommend that you build it completely custom with HTML and CSS. When doing so, you have control over every little detail of your page without being constrained in any way. If you prefer a more dynamic site, perhaps with a blog or something similar, we recommend to use a content management system like WordPress. For the beginning, look for some cool themes to buy and use on your portfolio. When you become more of an advanced developer, make sure to make it as custom as possible. You might even want to consider building a completely custom WordPress theme by yourself to express all of your talent and skills. Regardless of what kind of website you want to build, there are two things that you have to do nevertheless. The first is registering a custom domain. If you're really short on money, you could use a free subdomain, for example from GitHub, but if you can afford $10 to $20 a year, it is definitely worth buying a custom and good domain. Your domain should typically have your name or parts of your name in it and should look clean and professional, so don't use random letters or symbols in it and make sure to use a good top-level domain extension, like .com, .net or your country's domain extension. The second thing you need every time is a hosting service. If you don't have your own server, which most of us don't, you will need a place to store and serve your website to its visitors. Again, to look professional, you want a paid hosting service to provide everything you need. Alternatively, there are many great free hosting providers out there as well. We would recommend using GitHub Pages, Netlify or something like 000 Webhost for this purpose. One of the most important aspects of a portfolio is to showcase some of your projects and examples of your work. This might be difficult for most beginners as you typically don't have many cool projects to display on your site. Therefore, we want to give you some tips on how to find some. There are two types of projects. The ones you build for yourself that don't have any real use, like a weather app or an arbitrary Twitter clone. Those projects are really cool and fun to build and show your skills too. The other type are projects that are actually being used by real world people. Projects like this may include a website for a real business or an app that you can actually download in the App Store. Ideas for the first category of projects can be found on YouTube or similar websites quite easily. The difficult part is finding projects for the second type. One way to do this is by asking your friends or family if they know anybody that runs a business and needs something like a website or a login system or anything like that. If you don't find any projects with this method, consider doing some work for local businesses for free. Therefore, you get to build your portfolio and they receive work without having to spend hundreds if not thousands of dollars. So it's a win-win situation. Of course, you shouldn't spend like 500 hours on a project without getting paid for it, but some small ones can definitely help you build up your portfolio. To put it all in a nutshell, yes, you want and need a portfolio website to improve your career in the software and especially in the web development industry. We hope you enjoyed this video and found something useful while watching it. If you did, please leave a like on this video and make sure to subscribe to our channel for weekly videos. Also make sure to comment down below if you have any questions or critique whatsoever. We're excited to see you again next week, and until then, stay healthy and keep on learning.